Welcome to CoachFin. I am Nilesh Bodhi, and in this video we are going to learn 6 tips for beginners. But remember, these 6 tips are applicable for all who want to achieve financial freedom by setting right financial goals. So what are the 6 steps? So these are the 6 steps. First, we'll decide the purpose, horizon and the cost of goals. Then we look at what rate the cost of goal increases over a period of time. Then we will decide how much risk you will take for this particular goal which you have set. Then we will formulate the asset allocation. Fifth, we'll start an SIP as per the asset allocation. And the last one is we'll review, track and manage our portfolio via rebalancing. The purpose, horizon and cost of a goal is very important. So we will have to decide the purpose, why we need this goal. Then once we have decided the why, what is the horizon, that is when we want to complete this goal. And the last is cost of the goal today. Now financial goals can be divided into 3 things. First is short-term goals, which is having a time horizon of less than 2 years. Second, mid-term goals, which has a time horizon of 2 to 5 years. And long-term goals, which has a time horizon of less than 5 years. Now if you speak of short-term goals, it can be loan or credit card payments, rent or mortgage payment, insurance payments, establishing a monthly budget and creating an emergency fund. Now for the mid-term goals, it can be saving 20% of salary to invest for long-term retirement, pay off your car loan, learning a new skill, earning a promotion or creating a fund to purchase a home. In the long-term goals, you may plan for buying a home, paying off your mortgages, save for your kids' education, starting a business and retirement savings. So this is what we should learn actually. Okay. And the last and the most important thing for anyone in our life is basically to become financially independent. So we all are struggling to get financial independence and we all are applying so many things to become financially independent. So that is a long-term goal. Okay. That is becoming financially independent. Now, if we take the cost of higher education today, we should see what is the cost today. If we calculate that and if we see that cost by comparing it for 20 years back and 20 years afterwards, then we will come to know what will be the cost of my kid or your kid basically after 18 to 20 years. So the first step is very important. That is the purpose, horizon and the cost. The second most important thing is calculating the rate cost of the goal. Okay. I will give an example over here. I studied in this college which is called as COEP, that is a government engineering college. It was founded by the British in 1854. It is fully funded government college. It is it offers only engineering courses and the streams are BTech, MTech and PhD. In the year 1994-95, the first year fees were 4,284. But in year 2022-2023, the first year fees is 90,600. So the increase is, the per year increase is 75%. So if you see 2022 minus 1994 is equal to 28 years. So the total increase in percentage in 28 years is 90,600 into 100 divided by 4284, which comes to 2115%. Okay. Therefore, if you divide this 2115 by 28, it is 75% increase per year since 1994. Let us now consider that you have a kid who is born today and who will be joining COEP after 18 years. So what will be the fees in 2040? So in year 2040-41, if we consider the same fees of 75% increase, the first year fees is going to be 12,23,100. So the 4-year fees is going to be 48,92,400. So you need to plan for an investment or savings via which you will generate rupees 48,92,400 for your kids' education in 2040. Similarly, you can also calculate the goal cost for your goals which you have set. Once you know that, then you can plan for it. Then you can plan via different means. It can be SIP, it can be some other means. But then calculating the rate cost of a goal is the most important if you want to achieve it by setting it a timeline. It is very evident that whenever we set goal, obviously for every goal we have to take a risk, and taking risk is the most important fact for achieving any goal. So decide how much risk you will take for this goal. Now life cycle has stages basically, and if we understand those stages, we will be better prepared for taking risks to achieve our desired goals. So first is the life cycle stage, second is your early career, then third is middle age and pre-retirement, and the last one is your retirement. So if you see the life stage career basically, so first is working career, then your risk appetite, then your risk profiling, and the last is ideal investment option. So let's see this one by one. Let's say you are in an early career. Okay, So your working career is what? Early to middle earning age years, basically, where you will be starting early at your career and will be working. What is your risk appetite at this stage? Let's say I am getting a job at the age of 21. So my risk appetite would be very high. I would be able to take very high much risk in my life, as much as possible. Okay. So what is my risk profile? It will be definitely very aggressive. And my ideal investment option has to be equity, because at that time where I have just landing into my job very young, my risk appetite is very high. I am very aggressive basically, and obviously I'll be going for equity funds. Now when I come to the middle age and pre-retirement, where I am at the midpoint of my career, so my risk appetite turns from high to medium. Okay, and my risk profile goes from aggressive to moderate, and my ideal option turns from equity to a combination of equity and income funds. And in the last stage, where I am in the retirement phase, my risk appetite goes from medium to low. So see my risk appetite. Early career is very high, middle age is medium, and then retirement is very low, right? And when I see the risk profile, it goes from aggressive to moderate, and from moderate to very conservative in the end, where I am going to retire, because I don't want to lose any money when I am retiring, because that's my much needed money for my retirement life. And my ideal option turn from equity to combination of equity in income funds at the middle age, whereas at the retirement it becomes money market funds and income payment plan. Why? Because I want steady income. I don't want to play with my life. I don't want to take any risk. I want to be a risk free taker, and I want to enjoy my life. So I want a happy ending. So this is how you can see our life stage cycle stage goes on. Now there are few persons exception to this. For example, I am a very high risk taker. Today also I am investing in equity. I believe equity, and I invest in in mid cap and small cap funds as well. Because the kind of person I am, I love to take risk, and I am okay with that. But then everybody is not like that. So you have to define what kind of risk taker you are, and accordingly, as per these stages, you have to define what kind of risk you can take for your goal, and then plan accordingly to achieve it. You are all set. You have your goals fixed, and now it is the time for asset allocation. So what is asset allocation? Asset allocation is the implementation of an investment strategy that attempts to balance risk versus reward by adjusting the percentage of each asset in an investment portfolio according to investors' risk tolerance, goals, and investment time frame. The focus is on characteristics of the overall portfolio. Okay, now as we can see, let's say your target allocation is where you have 60% stocks and 40% bonds, but due to some condition, for example today's condition or in COVID condition, our target allocation drifted and the stocks went from 60% to 70% and the bonds went down from 40 to 30%. So you have to rebalance that particular thing over a period of time. Rebalancing means where the stock has gone by 10%, you have to again make it 60%. Where the bonds have become 30%, you have to again make it 40%. So take 10% of stocks and put it into bonds. So your stock becomes 60% and bonds will turn from 30 to 40 again. Okay. Now ideally, if you see, there are only 4 categories of investment, which is large cap stock, mid cap stock, small cap stock, and bonds. Okay. So, and this has got significance of their own. Okay, so I'll come to this particular thing. So we have to understand what is risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is the level of risk and uncertainty that you can afford to take, and you are willing to take that risk so that you can achieve your goals. So this is very important. You should know your risk tolerance. Let me give you an example. Let's say I have invested in the market. Let's say 10 lakhs I have invested, and in today's market where the market is falling, I have seen my portfolio going down by 8%. So when my portfolio is falling by 8%, obviously I'll be having negative returns, right? My 10 lakh can become 9 lakh or 8 lakh also. That's very sure, right? And we have seen this happening. But what kind of investor I am? When I see the market is going down, am I getting afraid? I am having the fear of losing the money? No, I am not. Instead, what I am doing, I am pumping more money into the market, which I have really done in this market. And then today, if you ask me, my portfolio has grown very nicely. I have got 20% returns in my portfolio. So I am an investor who knows where exactly to invest the money. When the market is going down, I am not at all feared of the market. Why? Because I know that's the right time for me to invest. I invested the money, and today I am getting the results. I have invested in stocks which have really paid me well in this particular downfall market. So I know my risk tolerance. So you also have to find out your risk tolerance. Okay. When it comes to using the strategies, there are different kind of strategies. So I am using a strategy called as 4-3-2-1, which you will never find on the internet. If you Google it, you will never find this particular strategy, because there are a lot of other strategies which I will speak in the next slide. But this strategy is particularly devised by me and I use it in my personal life it has been over 30 years now. I'm using this particular strategy where I am putting 40% in one thing, 30 in other, 20 in other and 10 in other. This is how I'm balancing my 100%. So let's take an example. Let's say you are at the age of 20 to 30 years. So if I am there, which I have done actually, I am putting my 40% in small cap, 10% in mid cap, 20% in large cap and 30% in ELSS. This is how my whole portfolio is balanced of 100%. Now when I am turning from 31 to 40, in that range when I am coming, I'll be reducing my small cap from 40 to 30%. I'll increase my mid cap from 10 to 40%. I'll lower my large cap from 20 to 10 and I'll decrease my ELSS from 30 to 20. Similarly, when I move to the next slot, which is 41 to 50 years, my small cap reduces by another 10%, which is it becomes 20% from 30 to 20, and my mid cap goes from 40 to 30%. My large cap goes from 10 to 40%, and my ELSS turns from 20 to 10%. And when I'm going in the range of 51 to 60, my small cap becomes only 10% from 20%. My mid cap goes from 30 to 20. My large cap goes from 40 to 30 and ELSS goes from 10 to 40. Okay. So as you can see, I am taking the full benefit of the market. I am taking the full benefit of tax saving by ELSS by doing the required rebalancing. And at the age of 60, that is from 61 to 80 years, I am not taking any risk. I am putting everything in a hybrid fund. And I prefer more hybrid fund because I want both the profits of an equity and the benefit of the debt. So that's how I am doing this particular thing. Remember, in the market, there are only 4 categories: large cap stock, mid cap stock and small cap stock. And the last one is bonds. Okay, that is the debt fund. So you have to understand that what your other funds are there. The names may be many things, like hybrid funds are there, like flexi fund is there, these fund, that fund, but they all a combination of either large cap, mid cap or small cap, or some may be combination of mid, small and large, or whatever it is, but it's all a combination. But there are only 4 things, that is large cap, mid cap, small cap and debt funds. So you have to balance, you have to do asset allocation on these 4 things only. If you learn that, I am damn sure your asset allocation will help you in the long term, the way in which I am getting my benefits. I hope you have understood what asset allocation is. We will see more asset allocation in the next slides as well. So let us see what is SIP based allocation. See, you have to start your SIP as per your asset allocation, which we have seen earlier. Okay. Now, if you use this 431 strategy for your thing, I mean, it is not necessary that you use the same thing which I have used, but remember the 4321. You can tweak this particular thing. You can put it on. I have started with small cap more when I started, but then you can start with, if you are not a investor which is willing to take more risk, then you can tweak this particular thing accordingly. It can be large, mid, small and then debt, or it can be small, mid, large and debt, or it can be mid, large, small and debt, or it can be debt, large, mid and small. Whatever you want to devise, you can devise it. Okay, it is as per you because you know your risk tolerance better. Now we will see the next allocation strategy, which is called as 100 minus your age rule. So the easiest allocation method, this has been called as 100 minus your age, will give you the investment allocation. Let's say you are 30 years old. So 100 minus 30 is 70. So you will put your 70% into high risk return investment like stock, mutual fund and etc. And 30% into safer investment like savings, FD, etc. If you are 40 years old, then 100 minus 40 is 60. So you'll put 60% into high risk return investment like stocks and mutual fund, whereas you'll put your 40% into safer investment like savings and FD. If you are 50 years old, then 100 minus 50 is 50. So you will put your 50% into high risk returns investment like stocks, mutual fund, etc. and 50% into safer investment like savings and FD, etc. There is another rule. It is called as the magic of compound interest rule of 72. So what is it? You have to divide 72 by the interest rate or inflation rate to estimate the number of years it takes for your money to double for or against you. Okay. So if we consider 4% interest and you invest 1000 at the age of 29, it will double at 2000 at the age of 47. Then it will become 4000 at the age of 65. These 4000 will double and become 8000 at the age of 83. If you take 6% and you invest these 1000 at the age of 29, it will become 2000 at the age of 41, 4000 at the age of 53, 8,000 at the age of 65, 16,000 at the age of 77 and 32,000 at the age of 89. Now if you increase the percentage to 8%, then your 1000 at 29 will become 2000 at 38, 4000 at 47, 8000 at 56, 16,000 at 65, 32,000 at 74 and 64,000 at 83. And if you increase the percentage to 12%, which is normally, we index in any mutual fund, you get between 10 to 14%. So 12% is an ideal scenario where you invest 1,000 at the age of 29, it becomes 2,000 at the age of 35, 4,000 at the age of 41, 8,000 at the age of 47, 16,000 at 54, 32,000 at 60, 64,000 at 66, 1,28,000 at 72, 2,56,000 at 78, and 5,12,000 at 83. So these are some of the rules which I have told you for asset allocation. You can pick up anything and work on it. Portfolio rebalancing, that is rebalancing our asset, is the most important part of our portfolio. And very few persons do portfolio rebalancing, and that is the reason they are able to achieve wealth. Lot of people, they put their money into something and they are not able to achieve anything. So we fail to review, track and manage our risk via rebalancing. Do you rebalance your portfolio? Ask this question to yourself. How many times have you actually seen your portfolio, whether your portfolio is really growing or not? Okay, so there are few statistics. I'll share that particular thing with you. 15.7% for 15.7% people, portfolio doesn't need rebalancing. That's what they feel. For 47.9%, they rarely do rebalancing once in few years. For 27.1%, they do it after a big up move or a decline in the market. For 9.3%, they do it every year on a predetermined date. So why rebalance? See, we have risk management tool. See, it allows systematically buying low and selling high. It should be done at portfolio levels at all goals together. This is the most important thing. When the market goes down, we have to buy. Why? Because we are getting good stocks at very less prices. Now, if you see a lot of stocks have fallen down to their 52-week, they are 52-week high earlier, but now they are 52-week low. So we can buy that. Let's say you are getting a stock which was priced at 3,000. Today you are getting it for 2,000. Definitely you will go and buy it, right? Because you know when you buy at 2,000, once the market grows up, it will be doubling, right? So that's why it is needed. So what is asset allocation? Basically, as we have seen, where our target allocation could be anything. Let's say we invest 60% in stock and 40% in bonds. So how to rebalance? That's the trigger base. Calendar base, that is every 6 months or a year. That's what you should plan. And corridor base, that is whenever the weight drifts by 5%, say we will see that particular thing. Let's say your portfolio is drifting by 5% due to market movement, which we have seen continuously over a period of last 2 years now since the pandemic. Now because of drift, the stocks from 60% it has gone to 70%, and the profit booking and the bonds have gone to 30%. So what you have to do is, where you have 70% stocks now, you have to book the profit there and take that 10%, put it into the bond and make the bond at 40%. Okay, because your bond has fallen to 30%, so it has to be 40%. That is called as rebalancing. Okay, now the considerations are the capital gains taxes and the exit loads basically. So when you do an rebalance allocation, once you do the rebalance, your stock which was originally 60% for gone up by 70%, you are taking 10% and making 70 minus 10 again to 60%. Your bonds were 40%, it fall down to 30%. You are taking 10% of stock and putting that into bonds, and you are making from 30 to 40%. That's how it works. Okay, so original allocation, for example, you may have decided to allocate 60% of your portfolio to stocks and to 40% to 40% basically in the bonds. So it goes out of balance. That means if the market activity causes value of your stocks to increase, you will have a greater percentage invested in stocks, leaving you exposed to more risk than you intended. So that's where you see 15% bonds and 85% stocks. And the last one is rebalance balancing. That is, you are buying more bonds and selling stocks. That is, it gets you back to your original 60-40 mix. So that's how you have to keep on doing rebalancing your asset. And if you don't do that, obviously you will have losses. So make sure you are following this particular strategy to rebalance your asset. You are checking every calendar year or corridor base whenever there is a drift. I hope these particular 6 things are more visible to you now, and you are ready to plan your goals, and you will be achieving your goals as per these particular strategies. Thanks for watching this video. Please remember, mutual fund investment are subject to market risk, and past success does not guarantee any future performance. Now, if you want me to be your mutual fund distributor, then please fill in your data in the Google Sheet given in the description. Don't forget to create your free lifetime account on Asset Plus for investment in mutual fund. Please comment and let us know how did you like this video. If you are new to our channel, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell button next to it. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.